Ever wonder what happens when the headlights fade and the highway goes silent? On a cold night in 1992, a trucker named Eddie vanished. His rig abandoned, his CB radio still crackling, and a single bloody handprint left on the wheel. What secret took him into the darkness? Meet Eddie Ray Thompson, a 38-year-old trucker from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Eddie was the kind of guy you'd hear before you saw. His deep laugh echoing across truck stops, his CB radio always buzzing with stories of the road. For 15 years, he hauled freight across the Midwest, a lone wolf who lived for the hum of his Peterbilt rig and the endless stretch of asphalt. To his buddies, he was Midnight Eddie, the king of the late-night haul. But on January 12, 1992, Eddie's reign ended, his truck stopped rolling, and so did his story. It's the dead of winter 1992 on Interstate 44, a lonely ribbon of highway cutting through Missouri's Ozark Hills. The air's thick with frost, and the truck stops are quiet, save for the hum of diesel engines and the chatter of CB radios. America's trucking world is a lifeline, moving goods coast to coast, but it's also a shadowland. Rumors of hijackings, shady deals, and drivers who vanish into the night. Eddie's last run was a routine haul, auto parts from Tulsa to St. Louis. He radioed in at 11:45 p.m., laughing about the cold, then went silent. At 2 a.m., a fellow trucker spotted Eddie's rig parked crooked on the shoulder near Lebanon, Missouri. The engine was still warm, the CB radio crackling with static, but Eddie was gone. Inside the cab, a bloody handprint smeared the steering wheel. No fingerprints, just a mess of red. His logbook showed he'd stopped an hour earlier at a rest area, but no one saw him leave. The police combed the woods, questioned drivers, and chased leads. Hijacking? A fight? A runaway? But every trail went cold. Eddie's wife, Linda, waited by the phone, clutching his last paycheck, as weeks turned to months with no answers. The breakthrough came in 2005, when a hunter stumbled on a rusted CB radio buried in the Ozarks, 20 miles from where Eddie vanished. Engraved on the back, RT 92. Forensic tests found traces of Eddie's blood, and nearby, a shallow grave held a single bone, his. The case reopened, and whispers from old truckers pointed to a name: Bobby Red Callahan, a drifter who'd worked odd jobs at rest stops. Red had bragged about a score in 92, then disappeared. Piecing it together, cops figured Eddie had stopped that night, crossed paths with Red. Maybe over cash, maybe a deal gone sour and paid with his life. Red was never found, but the truth finally surfaced. Eddie's bone was buried next to his parents in Tulsa, a quiet end to a road warrior's tale. Linda sold the house, unable to live with the ghosts of what might have been. The midnight trucker became a legend among drivers, a cautionary story whispered over coffee at 3 a.m. His case reminds us, the highway's freedom comes with a price, and some debts are paid in blood. Out there, someone knows where Red is. Maybe they're listening right now. What mysteries are still rolling down America's highways? Subscribe to Crime Chronicles for more stories that haunt the night. Share your theories with #CrimeChronicles, because the truth is out there, waiting to be found.